Good morning. Are we live? We are live. Sorry, I'm a little bit late this morning. Taking my time and then I realised it was 28 minutes past 9 and I had to get a rush on to get to my mat. So I hope you're all well. And yeah, I had a week off because everything's got a little bit crazy in terms of my private classes they've increased, so my timetable was just getting a little bit ridiculous. So I thought, let's have a week off and let's kind of reschedule. Just move everything out the way here. Good. So it is our usual Sunday morning stretch. So we're just going to come onto our mat and we're going to start on our backs. So just come to lie down. Like I said, I hope you've all been well and you've enjoyed your week. So just get nice and comfortable on your backs, in whatever position that feels comfortable for you. So you can have the knees up, the legs down. You can be in Baddha Konasana if you wish. And just settling in. And as always, just taking a moment. Notice how the body feels on this Sunday morning. Notice how the mind is. Just giving yourself some time, this next hour, just you, your body, your breath on your mat. Just bringing your awareness to your natural breath. Just noticing the quality of the breath. And then when you're ready, just start to deepen those inhales and lengthen the exhales. Just noticing the ribs expand on your inhale. And just using this time to explore your inner space, as always, without judgment. And straighten the legs, bring the feet together and take the arms overhead for a deep stretch. And then draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze. Bring the hands onto the knees and start to work through the hips. So nice big circles with those knees. And then taking the circles the opposite way. Again, just taking the focus into those hips. Let's pull the right thigh in, interlace the fingers in front of the right shin, and send the left leg towards the mat. Let's hover that leg if it feels good to do so. And try to draw the lower back into the mat here. We work into our core strength. You can continue to make some movements with that right thigh if you wish, or find stillness, just having a good stretch as you pull that right thigh into the chest. If you lose the lower back from the mat, if you start to arch, just notice when that happens and just draw that lower back down. Maybe you want to lift that leg a little bit higher. And let's switch. So draw the left leg in and straighten the right leg. And again, your option to continue to move through that left hip or taking that good stretch. And again, just checking on that lower back and just make sure it's connected. So really draw the navel back towards the spine. And draw that right knee back in. Give yourself a squeeze, a cuddle. We're going to lift the head and shoulders off the mat. Pull yourself into a ball. Make sure that lower back is connected again here. And then just reach the arms high. And we'll stay here. Breathe in, just working through that core strength. Start to bring a little blood into the core. Really round in. Use the strength to pull those legs in. Let's hold for 5. For 4, if it's not comfortable for the neck, you can bring your hands behind the head, just support the head. 3. For 2. And 1, release. Have a stretch out, straighten the legs. Reach the arms overhead. And bring the hands back by the body. We'll bend the knees, bring heels towards the buttocks. Making sure the ankles are underneath the ankles are underneath the knees and the heels are hips width apart. Pull the shoulder blades under the back. Let's open through the chest. And we'll come into some bridge lifts. So as we inhale, lift the hips up. A little squeeze to the glutes at the top. And exhale to lower back down. Inhale to lift up. Little squeeze. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift in. Exhale, lower. Let's do 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. We're going to hold it on this one. Maybe draw the shoulders under the back a little bit more. Squeeze the glutes. Find opening through the front of the body. A deep breathe in for 3. For 2. And 1 as you exhale, lowering back down. Take the arms out to the side. We're going to heel toe the feet out wide. And let's window wipe the legs. Drop the knees over to the right. Inhale, bring them up through center. Exhale, knees over to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Let's straighten the right leg. Bring the left foot in a little bit more now. Straighten the right leg towards the ceiling and interlace fingers behind the back of the right leg. Let's take some rotations through that ankle. And rotating the opposite way. Notice how the ankle feels. Notice how the leg feels. Is it feeling quite tight this morning? Maybe you want to draw that leg towards you, drawing the thigh into the body. Just releasing through those hamstrings. Let's point the toe now. We're getting a good stretch at the top of the foot. And notice how that feels. At the same time, keep pulling the sacrum, the lower back, into your mat. And let's flex the ankle. Pull the toes back towards the body now. Shoot that heel as high as you can. Let's work some energy through the back of the right leg, some strength as we pull it in. And if you can, straighten that left leg towards the mat. Left foot, toe on the left foot point, toe on the right foot flex. And we'll come into another twist. Take the right arm out to the side. Left hand comes outside of the right leg. And then just drawing that leg across the body. Allow the body to turn. If it doesn't feel good with that leg straight, you can always bend the knee here. This is all good. And start to look over to the right. So towards your right hand. Inhale, bring head back through center. Bring leg back through center. Bring that left foot back onto the mat and drop the right ankle just above the left knee. As we come into our reclined pigeon. As always, your option to stay here. Flex through that right ankle and press that knee away from you, or you're going to lift that left foot up and take a bind, maybe behind the back of the thigh, maybe in front of that left shin. And again, just breathing into your areas of tension this morning. Maybe a little rock from side to side, maybe you're finding stillness. Now we're going to release the leg, but you're going to use the leg strength to keep pulling that left leg in. So this is going to be your active flexibility. So pull that right foot in, continue to pull that right foot in. Let's take the arms overhead. Notice how this feels. Let's bring the hands behind the head. Interlace the fingers. Just allow the head to hang heavy in the hands. We're going to round the back and lift the shoulders off the mat. So again, just check that you haven't got any tension in the neck. The neck is really, really soft here. And we're going to come into a little bit of oblique work. So it's going to take a big inhale. And as we exhale, bring the right elbow up towards the right foot. Inhale to lower it down. Exhale, bring it up. Comes across the body towards the foot. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 5 more if we can. Exhale to bring it in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Inhale. And 1 more. Hold it if you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Holding for 3. For 2. And 1. Lowering down. Drop that left foot to the mat. Bring that right foot onto the mat. And give yourself a cuddle. And let's drop that right foot onto the mat now and straighten the left leg. So again, interlace fingers behind the back of the left thigh or the calf. And let's make some rotations with that left ankle now. And go in the opposite way. Good, and let's point the toe. Really work through the front of that left foot. And let's flex the ankle. And maybe you want to pull that leg in a little bit closer now. Work the strength through that leg. And just noticing how tight the legs feel today. Maybe super tight. Maybe they're feeling quite open. Maybe you've been doing lots of yoga. Lots of stretching. And again, let's straighten out that right leg if it feels good to do so. Just going to increase the stretch through the hips a little bit here, through the hamstrings. If it doesn't feel nice, you can always bring that foot onto the mat. And maybe adding a little bit of movement here. Always nice. Let's bring that left hand out. Bring the right hand outside of the left leg and coming into that supine twist. So just drawing that left leg across the body. Get an option to bend the knee. If you haven't got space, like me on the other side, or if it just doesn't feel good, to keep that leg straight. And then just dropping the head over to the left. And nice deep breaths. Using the breath to open into the spine, open into the chest. Bringing head back through center. Bringing leg back through center. Let's bring that right foot back onto the mat and bring left ankle just above the right knee for that reclined pigeon posture. Again, your option to stay here. Maybe pressing that left leg away from you. Maybe you're taking your bind, interlacing fingers behind the back of the right thigh or in front of that right shin. Flex through the ankle in that left foot. And maybe adding some rocking again if it feels nice. Your chance to explore in every posture. And then releasing from that right leg. So now you're just using the strength in that right leg to pull that left foot in and stretch through that left hip. And just notice how that feels. Maybe a lot harder, maybe you're having to work a little bit more. Just take the arms overhead. Now bring the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. And just allow that neck to be nice and soft. Use the thumbs on the back of the neck just to check it's nice and soft. Then we'll draw the navel back, so the lower back into the mat, and lift the head and shoulders up. So you just check that the head isn't holding itself up. Relax, relax, relax. And then we're going to do some of that oblique work, but on the other side. We'll take an inhale. As we exhale, bring the left elbow towards that left foot. Inhale to take it back down. Exhale, bringing it up. Inhale, take it back down. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale down. Exhale. Inhale down. Exhale. That's 5. We'll do 5 more. Inhale then. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Let's hold. For 5. Keep the work. For 4. For 3. Just check that neck is still soft. For 2. And 1. Inhale. Lower it down. Drop the right foot to the mat. Drop the left foot to the mat. And hug your knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. Let's rock forwards and backwards. Rock it up to seated. Swing the legs around. Let's come onto our bellies and have a little stretch to those abs. So coming into our Sphinx. Elbows underneath the shoulders. As always, if it's too pinchy in the lower back, you can always bring the elbows out a little bit further. And really try to open through the chest, through those abs. Strong legs. Press the tops of the feet down. Let's see if you can relax the glutes here. See if you can be wide across the collarbones. And long through the neck. Take an inhale. And exhale, lowering the chest onto the mat. Let's bring the hands by the chest. We'll press back. And we'll come into child's pose. You can have knees together or knees wide. Let's bring forehead to the mat. Take an inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, walk the hands over to the left. As we take a nice side stretch here. Allow the head to hang heavy. Maybe send the hips to the right slightly as well. Inhale as you move your hands back through center. And exhale over to the other side. And again, nice stretch to the left side of the body. Deep breath there. Inhale to come back through center. And exhale, let's find a tabletop position. Feet and knees underneath the hips and hips width apart, fingers spread, shoulders over the wrist, wrap the triceps under or towards each other, Tuck the tailbone under, finding length through the spine. Wide across the collarbones here. And we're going to take some cat-cows. As we inhale, lift the tailbone, arch through the lower back. Heart moves forward, lift the gaze, and as you exhale, taking it the opposite way. Tucking tailbone under, around through the spine, chin comes into the chest. Inhale into your cow. Stay nice and strong through the arms. Exhale into your cat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 2 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. So again, just checking that that lower back isn't arching here. We're nice and long. Let's step that right foot back. Let's stretch a little bit more through that right leg. Your option to lift that left thigh into the body now, and let's move the shoulders forward over the wrists. Let's hold for 3. If you're coming into this posture, if not, no worries. For 2 and 1, planting that left knee back down. We're going to bring that right foot forward again. This is a flow that you've done with me before, so we want that right foot still in line with the hip, but just back of that left knee. So we're here. Left foot just back, right foot just back of the left knee. We're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to push back. That right knee is going to come in. Inhale to move forward. Pivot on that right foot, turn the knee out. And exhale, sit back into the hips, just opening through that right hip a little bit more. Inhale, move forward. Send that right foot back. And exhale, press back through that right hip. Inhale. I'm going to turn around so you can see this. Bring that right foot back just behind that left knee. Sit back on the exhale. Inhale, move forward. Send the right knee out. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, move forward. Send the right foot back. Exhale, pulse back through that right heel. Inhale, bring the right foot back. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, move forward. Pivot on that foot, turn the knee out. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, move forward. Send the right foot back. Exhale, pulse through that right heel. Inhale, do one more round. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, move forward. Send the right knee out. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, move forward. Send that right foot back. Exhale, pulse back through that right heel. And inhale, dropping that right knee back to the mat. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. And so left foot just behind that right knee. Take an inhale. And exhale. Just sit back, stretching the Achilles here, stretching into those hip flexors. Inhale, move forward, pivot on that foot, turn the knee out. Exhale, sit back. Maybe that left heel drops onto that right calf. Inhale, move forward. Send the left foot back. Exhale, pulse back through that left heel. Inhale, bring the left foot back just behind that right knee. Exhale, sit back. Feel the stretch through the legs, through the hips. Inhale, move forward. Pivot that left knee out. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, move forward. Send the left foot back. Exhale, pulse. Inhale, left foot comes back. Last time. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, move forward. Swing that knee out. Exhale, sit back. Feel the work in that left hip. Inhale, move forward. Send the left foot back. Exhale, pulse. And inhale, bringing that left knee back to the mat. Let's tuck the toes under. Send hips back and up as we find downward facing dog. Hopefully the legs feeling nice and loose as you come into this downward facing dog. There's always your option just to move around here. Just notice how the body feels again. In your downward dog, just check in that those feet are hips width apart and that the heels are directly behind the toes. So we don't want the heels to be out, and we don't want the heels to be in and the toes pointing out. Try to get the feet as if you're on train tracks. You're standing on the train tracks, the heel and the center of the top of the foot on those tracks. Let's walk hands back towards the feet, and we'll come into a nice forward fold. Bring hands onto the mat. If you can't get hands onto the mat, you can be here. You can have knees bent. Just pulling yourself in. You can walk out the legs a little bit more here if those hamstrings still feel a little bit tight. And then walking the hands forward again. Let's find that downward facing dog. Find length through your spine. As always, bend the knees if you need to in your dog. And dropping knees to the mat. Let's come into puppy. Let's work into the shoulders a little bit more. So hips over the knees and just start to walk the hands forward. If it's too intense in the shoulders in this posture, feel free to sit back in extended child's pose. I want you to try to keep a little bit of strength through the arms, through the shoulders here. So rather than just allowing the heart to sink, you can come onto the fingertips, wrap the triceps under. Find the strength as you find the length through the spine. And think of pressing the very bottom of your shoulder blades forward. Maybe there's pops and clicks. Maybe you feel a nice release in the upper back here. We'll stay 2 more breaths. And now let's release completely. So bring hands back to the mat. And now just allow that chest to sink low. It's really working into the shoulders now. Into the chest. And going all the way back up, walk those hands in. Let's bring that right knee forward and bring the right foot to the outside of the left leg. I'm going to turn the left foot out slightly to make space for the hips as we start to sit back. So this is going to be a nice hip stretch. You may need to have a shuffle around to find where feels good for you as we come into, excuse me, as we come into cow face posture. So you might need blocks. You might need to sit on a block here if you're really closed in the hips. You don't have to be as deep in the posture. You can maybe just bring the foot over the leg like this. But get nice and comfortable. It's one of those postures that, depending on how open you are in the hips, it can feel quite nice. It can feel quite comfortable. A lot of people will just randomly sit like this, or it can feel quite intense. It's a posture that I just couldn't do at all when I first came to the yoga practice. My hips were just like, what is this? So yeah, it can be quite intense. Your intention to try to get that right sit bone down, so getting the spine nice and straight. We're going to work into the shoulders a little bit here as well. So we're going to bring the right arm over top of the head. And let's take the right elbow and just draw the right elbow towards the center line of your body. Just releasing through those shoulders. For me, this posture, I always need to move my calf out of the way. My calf always seems to get stuck as I come into this posture. So again, if you're feeling any pinching or things don't feel right, just move around. Never be a martyr to your yoga practice. It should be challenging. There should be a little bit of work there. We should be comfortable, as comfortable as you can be. If you're going well, option 1 is to stay here. If you're going well, if you've got a little bit more, we'll work on the internal rotation in the left shoulder. So turn the back of the hand, so the back of the hand is onto the back, and then just start to walk the hand up the back, and maybe you make a bind with that right hand. So the right shoulder is in external rotation, the left shoulder is in internal rotation. And just sit nice and tall. And just relax into it as much as you can. If you can't get that bind over, you can always use a strap as well. So dangle a strap from the right hand and catch it with the left hand. And over time, you can walk your hands closer together using that strap. But binding isn't necessary. Just after that nice shoulder stretch. Send the elbows as far away from each other as you can now. Maybe lift the gaze. And releasing. Let's bring the arms forward. We'll bring the right arm underneath the left arm and take eagle arms. This is going to stretch through the rhomboids, the upper back, muscles. If you manage to take the hands all the way around towards each other, lift the elbows high. Maybe you're here. This is all good again, depending on how high you are in the upper back. Breathe in, relax in. And releasing those arms. We'll bring those hands forward. Bring that right foot forward and find that tabletop position again. We're going to do exactly the same on the left side. So bring the left foot forward and move it around the outside of that right leg. Take the right foot out to the side a little bit to make space for the hips, and then when you're ready, slowly begin to sit back. And again, find your comfort in this posture. Have a wiggle around. Maybe one side feels a little bit tighter than the other side. And yeah, the intention to get that left sit bone down, the spine nice and erect. And when you're ready, we'll take it into the shoulders. So left arm comes up, take hold of that left elbow, and draw it to the center line of your body. And just notice how that left shoulder feels. Maybe it feels a little bit tighter than the right shoulder. And see if you can use the breath to soften, to relax. Just check the face is relaxed and not furrow in the forehead. Again, if you're going well, maybe you work into that bind. So the right arm, right shoulder comes into internal rotation and bringing the right hand up behind the back. Let's see if you can take a bind with the left hand. And again, maybe you bind, maybe you don't bind. If you find that bind, just keep working, keep finding that work in the shoulders. If you don't find the bind, it's all good. And the more you do this posture, the more the shoulders will release. Just keep those breaths going. Maybe dropping the head back. Working those elbows as far away from each other as you can. And release slowly. Take the arms out in front, the left arm underneath the right this time. As we take our eagle arms on the opposite side. And again, lifting the elbows. Feel the stretch through the upper back. This is a stretch I certainly don't do enough in my own practice and in my classes. I don't think I include this enough, really. Shoulder stretches enough. Take a couple more breaths here. And release. Bringing the hands forward and bringing that left knee forward and finding that tabletop position again. Let's tuck toes under, send hips back and up. And let's find that downward facing dog. And again, just notice how you feel in that downward dog. Let's make our way into pigeon or swan variation. Let's go into swan first. So bring that right knee forward onto the mat. Hopefully feeling a little bit easier. We've stretched the hips quite a lot already this morning. The right heel is by that left hip flexor. So just try to straighten yourself up. So draw the right hip back, send that left hip forward and down. Feel the stretch through the front of the left hip. Feel the work through the outer right hip. We've not done much work in the front of the hips this morning, so you will probably feel it a little bit more in the front of the left hip and in the outside of the right hip. Feel free to have a wiggle around if you're not feeling anything. Think of where your hips are pointing. So if the hips are rolling out to the side, you can keep working the hips more into an upright position. And I want you to press through the ball of the left foot. So really work through the ball of the left foot, and you should feel that right leg start to engage a little bit more here. Let's add a little bit more work. We'll bring hands onto the hips, keeping the chest nice and open, and just start to draw the knees towards each other. As you draw the knees towards each other, you should start to lift up a little bit, add a little bit of length. Keep pressing through the ball of that right foot. Notice what happens in this stretch. We'll hold for 3, for 2, and 1, sink down. Now if you want to open that foot up a little bit more to come more into a pigeon position, you can go ahead and do so. But I want you to keep a little bit of flexion in that right ankle, and I want you to keep pressing through the ball of the right foot. So it's as if you're trying to lift the outside of the right ankle off the mat a little bit here. So it's just keeping a little bit more work. Option to drop to elbows. And again, just allowing yourself to relax completely. Maybe walking those hands forward. And deep Ujjayi breathing. We'll stay here about 5 more breaths. Maybe a little rock to the hips, if that feels nice. Lifting the gaze, walk the hands back towards you. We'll bring that left leg around. We'll close that right knee again, bring the heel back towards that left hip. And bring the left ankle just outside the right knee as we come in for a twist. Left hand behind the back, right hand onto that left knee. Inhale to open through the chest, draw the navel in, and exhale, the gaze over left shoulder. Taking whatever variation feels nice in this posture. You can take right elbow outside of that left knee. If that feels good, you can take a bind, taking a hand through the hole, or you can reach down towards the inner inside of that left foot. Again, whatever feels nice in your body this morning. And breathe into the upper back. Every inhale, finding a little bit more length, growing a little bit more from your roots. And every exhale, just finding a deeper twist. Stay here a couple more breaths. And inhale, looking back to the top of your mat, releasing, swing that left leg back around. Hands come to the mat. And let's find our downward facing dog again. Again, a moment to check in. How do you feel? Is that body feeling a little bit lighter now? Is that energy flowing a little bit better through your body? Are the joints feeling a little bit more lubricated? Or maybe nothing has happened. And that can happen sometimes in the yoga practice. Let's bring that left knee forward. And find that swan pose on the left side. So again, that knee is closed, that left heel is by that right hip. And again, working the hips forward and down, or that right hip forward and down. Feeling that work through the front of that right hip. And relaxing the shoulders. Breathing nice and deeply. And just noticing. Where is this posture working in your body? Does anything come up in the posture? And sometimes there's an emotional release. Sometimes it brings up anger. Sometimes sadness. Sometimes happiness. We store emotions from memories in our bodies, in our muscles. So emotional releases are totally normal in the practice. When you're nice and comfortable, let's bring the hands onto the hips. And bring the thumbs onto the sacrum. And again, we're going to try to draw the knees towards each other. That intention to get the knees towards each other. As we do so, we'll begin to rise. Press through the ball of that left foot. Find the work. Notice how it changes the posture or changes the feeling in the body. For me, it's much more intense through that left hip and down into my hamstrings. Almost feeling it more in my hamstrings now than in my glutes. Inhale and exhale, release. Working more into a pigeon position now if it's in your practice, or just stay in that swan pose. We're just going to take it a little bit more into a relaxing posture. So I'm still going to keep the work through that left leg by pressing through the ball of the left foot and trying to lift the outside of that left ankle off the mat. And then just walk in, hands forward, maybe elbows come to the mat. You can stay in an upright position if you wish, if you feel more work and you want to work a little bit more in that position. Otherwise, take in a little rest. Not that this feels restful in some people, and certainly not in me today. There's a lot of work happening in my body right now. Just keep those breaths going. We'll stay here for again another 5 breaths. Nice and deep, nice and slow. Slowly, slowly walking those hands back towards you. Close that knee again. Bring that heel back in. And swing that right leg around as we come into our twist. Right ankle just outside of that left knee. Right hand behind the back. Left hand onto the knee. We'll take an inhale. And exhale, twist. And gaze over your right shoulder. And again, intention to get that right sit bone down if it's lifted, just to draw some length into the spine, just to make sure that we're not, that the spine isn't out in the lower back. Try and always get that spine nice and long. And as always, taking whatever variation feels good for you on this side. Again, maybe you're hooking that elbow, maybe it just feels nice. To keep it gentle this morning. Try to keep the weight in the hips, so this right hand you should be able to lift off and you don't move. We're keeping the work through the core. This right hand is just to help us a little bit of friction on that mat to open the upper back a little bit more. But we shouldn't be leaning into that hand if we can help it. We'll stay here a couple more breaths. Again, work that breath into the upper back. And looking back to the front, we'll release. We'll come to a simple cross-legged position. Bring hands onto the knees. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, drop the chin to the chest. And start to roll the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And so we're stretching through the neck, through that left shoulder. Option to walk those left fingertips out a little bit. Option to lift the arm. Notice how each variation changes the stretch through the neck. And releasing that left hand down. Rolling the chin back towards the chest. Left hand onto the left knee. And we're taking it to the other side. So rolling the left ear out towards that left shoulder. And deep breathing. Breathe into the shoulders. Into the upper back. And again, option to walk those right fingertips out. Option to lift the arm. And lowering that hand back down if you lifted it. Now starting to roll the chin back towards the chest. And deep breathing. Close the eyes. And slowly lifting the gaze. Let's interlace fingers. Inhale, let's take a reach. And find that stretch, find that length through the spine. A little bit of side flexion. To one side, doesn't matter which. Inhale through center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale through center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through center. And exhale, release. We're going to bring the feet wide down, making our way down into our final posture, our Shavasana. Let's do this with control if we can. So tuck in your tailbone under, flex through your spine, get those bandhas switched on. Really squeeze your abs as you come to lie down. And when you're there, take up space with the arms, your option to rest in Supta Baddha Konasana. So bringing the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to fall out to the side. You can use blocks or cushions underneath those knees if you need to. Arms can be overhead if you wish, or by your side. The chest nice and open. Releasing your Ujjayi breath. The eyes are closed. And let's draw our focus to our breath, our natural breath. And just allowing your body to be heavy and supported by the earth. As always, your option to stay in your Shavasana, stay in stillness for as long as your body needs. Otherwise, we'll take a deep inhale. Exhale the breath completely and connect navel to the spine. Inhale breath into your heart space. And exhale the breath into the fingertips and the toes as you start to wiggle those fingers and toes and bring some movement back to your body. Rotating wrists and ankles, beginning to move your limbs. I'll draw your knees back together if you went for your Supta Baddha Konasana. Straightening the legs. Take the arms overhead, find a deep stretch. And draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a cuddle. Show yourself some love and compassion. And just know that wherever you are on your yoga journey or in your life at this moment, all is good. You are exactly where you need to be. You are strong enough to deal with anything that life can throw at you. Open enough to receive whatever the universe gives to you. And we'll rock over to our right hand side. Find some comfort there. Blinking the eyes open and joining me again in a comfortable seated cross-legged position. We'll bring hands into Anjali Mudra. Close the eyes again, reconnect to the breath. I'll finish with the sacred sound Om and 3 Shantis. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hare Om. Raising our hands to our heads for kindness in our thoughts, to ourselves and to all others, to our hearts for kindness in our actions, and to our lips for kindness in our words. From my heart to your heart, always. Namaste. And thank you for joining me this morning. I'm sorry I didn't advertise that I was going to be live again on Sunday. I think I did in the post where I said I was going to have a week off. So I'm sorry if you've just been clicking on my YouTube channel and you found this video. But from next week, I will be going live again throughout the week. It is my brother's. It's going to be my brother's 39th birthday, or would have been his 39th birthday on Wednesday the 24th. So me and my mom have decided to go to Cornwall, where we spent a lot of time, to take some of his ash and to spread some of his ash down there. So I won't be with you Wednesday and Thursday next week. I will be down there. But I will, so this next week, the timetable is going to be a little bit different, and then, but there will be some live classes in there, and then the week after we will be back to a normal timetable. So keep an eye on my social media, on my Instagram and on my Facebook for the new timetable, the timetable for next week, and then the new timetable that will continue after that. I hope you all feel a little bit more open in your body. I hope that energy is moving a little bit better through the body. I hope you feel a little bit calmer in your mind. And as always, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please like it. Please share the video if you know anybody else that would enjoy my content. And fingers crossed, we can get back to normal pretty soon. I've heard that restaurants are going to be opening and bars are opening. So my thinking is, if that's happening, then we should be able to get back into yoga studios pretty soon. So let's stay positive that that's going to happen real soon. And I actually can't wait to see your faces again. I've really missed the interaction with my students. So yes. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your weekend, and I shall see you again in the week. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Love to you all.